Are we live? Okay, we're live. Well, good to see you all, except can't see you. But you can see us, can't you, huh? Glad you joined in for story time. Uh, what I'm going to be talking about tonight is the story we're going to write is a story that I wrote that it has application to this shut-in time that many of us are experiencing from the coronavirus. And you'll know what I mean after the 3 days. Now, each night it's going to be 12 to 15 minutes and 12 to 15 minutes. And then I'll chat a little bit about it afterwards. But this is a story that I wrote for a little book that I'm writing called Black Coffee on a High Mountain. Black Coffee on a High Mountain. And the story is called L-E-L New. L-New, E-L-K-N-E-W. Now, if you miss one of the 3 nights at 7 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, if you miss one, then you can get it on YouTube. I'll put it up on YouTube, and I'll put a link or you can go to just Bruce Lengemann. Bruce Lengemann, I'm on YouTube. Just type my name in, Bruce, Lengeman, and you'll see a little picture of me, and tap that, and the stories will be there. Okay? So I guess we're ready to begin, and we'll look at the camera up there.
Okay. The introduction. Max comes for advice.
Hi, Gramps. Well, my favorite grandson, Max, what brings you up the mountain this morning? You tell all your grandchildren they're your favorite. Well, they all are my favorite. Well, Gramps, to tell you the truth, I just need a break. I'll tell you what, Max, let's go inside and have some coffee. Okay, but Gramps, water mine down. Your coffee would make a sloth hyperactive. No problem, son. I'll brew you up the wimp version. So now, what brings you up the mountain to see me today? Well, Gramps, it seems as if I'm always running around doing all sorts of stuff. Sometimes I feel like life is a treadmill. You burn up all your energy and then end up right back where you started. This may sound funny, but lately I'm wondering why the good Lord made days so short. I just need to talk. Well, Max, have you so soon forgotten what L knew? What's L knew? No, Max, what L knew. What L knew. You know L? Who's L? You mean I didn't ever tell you the story of L knew? Oh, no, not another one of your crazy stories.
Max chuckles.
I'm sure I read it to you, maybe not. Go ahead, Gramps, but make it quick. As I told you, I'm busy.
Gramps went into another room, mumbling.
Now, where did I put that file? Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yes. Here it is.
Chapter 1. The Angel Speaks. Gramps sat down at the table. He cleared his throat. Then he began.
Years ago, in the town of Swansea, is a town far away from any other town, in another country, actually on an island, people were complaining because they were too busy. And for most of the Swandians, busyness was a way of life. So because of this, Swandians ended up dealing with problems all the time because being busy creates a whole lot of problems. They would never read stories to their children or play peekaboo with them, not because they didn't want to or didn't think it was important. They just didn't have the time. Peekaboo?
Max interrupted.
Get a life, Gramps.
Gramps ignored Max's interruption and he continued.
Well, nobody even had the time to take a cake decorating class just for fun or to learn another language. They didn't even have the time to make sure they had healthy meals with stuff like raw carrot juice and whole bran muffins. They didn't have friends over for cookouts or play Ticket to Ride with friends. So most of the Swandians were lonely too. They were very lonely. Because Swandians didn't do the important things, they had many more problems to deal with than other people who took the time to do important things. They had kids who were rebellious because their parents never got them up early in the morning to watch the sunrise. They had bad marriages because husbands and wives, they didn't have enough time to talk and pray together. The Swandians really wanted to do what was important. And they wanted kids that said, "Hey, Dad, you're the best." And men wanted wives that said, "You are one awesome hunk of man." And wives wanted men that said, "Honey, are you done talking yet already? I would love to hear more." Therefore, they complained that the Creator didn't make days long enough. Just like you did, Max. Here, let me take a sip of my coffee. That's good. Max, they knew this was the real problem. Days too short.
Chapter 2, a blessing from above.
Well, Max, it came to pass one day that an angel, a powerful one, appeared from heaven at the busy time in the town, the square town. One brave Swandian approached the angel and asked, "Why cometh thou?"
Max interrupted again.
"Oh, Gramps, do you talk to angels in King James language? Huh, Gramps? I must be wrong. I talk to angels in normal language."
Again, Gramps ignored the interruption.
The angel replied, "Starting next week at this time, until a certain time in the future, days will be 36 hours long instead of 24 hours long."
Wow.
The angel immediately disappeared into shimmering fog. The Swandians paused in shock and awe at what they had just experienced. And then everybody shouted for joy. Some over-church people even shouted amen. They danced and sang. Their prayer had been answered. Now they could catch up on everything they were behind on. They all sat around everywhere for the next few days and talked about what they were going to do with all their extra time. Alfgon said he was going to pray more. Sergelina said she was going to walk every day in fields and enjoy the smell of lilies. Don't laugh at me. Giljork was going to visit his father in Borswinville, the lower province, of course. Yes, even the children were excited that now dads and moms would play kickball with them and build them houses out of used refrigerator boxes and invite friends over that had kids their age to jump on the trampoline with them. And everyone would sit around and eat all beef hot dogs and cream cheese and spinach balls. "Gramps, you are loony." "Well, Max, I need another cup of coffee before I tell you what El said to the crowd that I wish the people had listened to him." Gramps, did you ever hear of the word summarize?
Chapter 3, the great El speaks.
Gramps, I just thought of a synonym for your coffee. "What's that, boy?" "Tar." "Well, thank you, Max. That's a compliment. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. The celebrations continued until the town festival when a wise old man named El stepped up to speak. "As old as you, Gramps? Wow, that's really old." "Quiet, boy. This is what El said. Let me warn you. The angel said that the length of days would be changed only to a certain time in the future." My warning is that we take the extra length of days and not fill the new hours with more responsibilities. If you do not heed my advice, I fear you will find yourself in great trouble when the days are returned to 24 hours. The crowd was silent with reflectionary thoughts. Then Jussie broke the silence and he said, "We have heard great wisdom that I, for one, will forever follow." One by one, they all agreed and said, "Yay." And the overchurched people shouted, "Amen." Wisdom prevailed that day in the land of Swansea. After that, things began improving for the Swandians. Parents loved their kids, and kids gradually started to obey their parents more. Husbands and wives talked with each other as much as the wives wanted to. Well, not totally. And some of them even looked back on wedding pictures, some for the first time in 17 years. Others learned Indian dialects or learned how to play the flutophone. They even planted gardens. Justin Oso even learned how to suck a wet spaghetti noodle up his nose and out his mouth. Simply, life had taken on a new meaning. They all had a blast.
By now, Max was laughing to the point of tears. Gramps continued.
But they remembered the words of El, and they followed them closely. But Max, soon, El's wisdom began to fade.
This is the end of the first session. Tune back in tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, 7 o'clock tomorrow, part 2, and you'll find out what happened. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I had a blast. Good seeing you all.